the mainstream semiconductor technology. But probably that's one topic that maybe requires separate discussion. That's I just want to cover that part a little bit. Yes, okay. It seems like people are wasting their time working on gallium nitride, but actually they don't. Okay, so we learn a lot of stuff today's. The techniques that we build on future semiconductors are based on 3,5 compound as well. So even silicon devices that you're going to see in the next 10 years will have germaniums, will have gallium arsenide. Just they're coming later than expected. Now, let me address the second questions that was raised about how do I, and how could I
calculate it? Yeah.
How could be, why do I learn maybe the business skills, okay, what make me successful in business? Okay, so the answer to that is a little bit convoluted, it's a little bit long, and this is just my opinion after all. So now first, after I graduated from school, I did not do business. You know, it wasn't in my mind to just do the business first. I was focused on developing technology. I was focused on building the best, best product. I was focused, continue to learning. Even after I finished my PhD, I never thought in my mind that I have learned enough. Never. I actually thought that there was just a beginning. I need to learn. I need to go to work for some other companies. They have to be with other people, other smart people, so I can learn from them. So I can continue to educate myself, okay, to be exposed with different field that I was not exposed in college, because there's only so many things you can do in college. Even though I spent 5 years doing my PhD, okay, I only learned just maybe a few % of the things that I feel I need to know. So for the first 6-7 years, I just focus on learning process, continue learning, working hard, okay, learning from other people mistakes, understanding how, okay, what mistakes is important, okay. So I've seen how people make mistakes, make wrong judgment call, talk about the wrong customers, come up with the wrong solutions, focus on the wrong product, and on and on and on. So those part is also prepare me for the time when I wanted to learn. I want to do my own business. But that's the later part of the training of the business side. In the early part, you know, I learned through helping my parents running the shop, where I have to man the shop. Okay, my parents used to be in the automotive spare parts business. We used to have toko in Hayamuruk, and we supply spare parts to local repair shops, local stores. So I used to go to, you know, I used to see customer coming, telling my father what parts to import from Germany, and you know, and they will tell everybody the same thing, and then before know it, okay, a month later, 2 months later, maybe 3 months later, okay, huge oversupply of parts. I remember one time that somebody told my father that, well, we need these spark plugs for Mercedes, for Toyota, for Honda, for Nissan, for all the different, for Volkswagen, for all the different cars in the world. Okay, and everybody wants lots of spare plugs, spark plugs. And then all of a sudden, okay, I went home, came home one day, and then said, oh, we have like a bunch of crates of spark plugs that we need to unload. And we have spark plugs enough for the next, 10 years. So I learned from that process that you cannot just learn from your customers telling you what they need, they want. They sometimes lie to you. And then, my father was naive enough to listen to them, and then so is everybody else in the business were naive. So before you know it, the whole Jakarta, we have enough spark plugs for 10 years. Okay, one time my father even ordered Kraft cheese. Okay, oh, okay, Holland Bakery. Also, everybody want akan open Holland Bakery, but cheese bread. So we imported Kraft cheese, and then everybody else were importing Kraft cheese. And then people know it. Okay, we have a Kraft cheese, and then we'll go rotten if we don't sell it. So we have to sell it at loss or something like that, right? Because otherwise, this thing will get rotten. So a lot of these things, I can spend like whole day talking about the younger experience running helping my parents run the business, help me to think differently when I'm dealing with customers, marketing, sales. Okay, I always think so, like, yeah, I know you say this, but I don't believe it. I have a sixth sense that okay, I was stupid enough. Okay, my parents maybe were stupid enough when we were young. But I'm not going to repeat this mistake twice or the third or the fourth times. We already repeat this mistake like 5 times. So enough, okay? So that helped, okay, me to have better judgment of running the business. But again, as I say, not everybody needs to think running business. Okay, just because I'm successful, you say like, oh, I want to live like Pak Sehat. Okay, so no, you're not me. Okay, you don't. Okay, you might not have the right background. Okay, you just focus on what you think you're good at. Okay, that's what you need to focus on. Okay, and then if you do that, you'll be happy. You'll be proud that what you have achieved. Because after all, anything you achieve will be better than the other 249 point blah million people in the or maybe 235 million people. You're still better, much better.
So it's a blended experience accumulated, years, and it's the most important from the past or from the education process in Berkeley. The most important capital to
the technical. So it's the technical. Obviously, the going to universities education is the most important. You don't learn things okay. It's hard to learn things by yourself. I tried that when I was in high school to read magazine, journals, data books. Okay, by myself, it's like almost impossible. It took me 6 years to learn things that if I go to university, it will take me only like 1 year or 2 years to learn. But it took me like 6 years to learn to that process. Even that, okay, it's a lot of times it's hearsay. A lot of times people say, okay, this worked this way because of blah blah blah. And then when I went to the university, it's okay, wrong. That was just somebody else's opinion. Because fundamentally it's different. The theory behind it is not exactly what it was saying. It's close enough, but they call it no cigar. So like, okay, not close enough, but it's not exactly right. So the university education will prepare you for the fundamentals. So you have for the things that you learn in university, you have to take it internally in your heart. You have to take it. Okay, you have to believe it. So when you learn certain fundamental things, you have to keep it in your heart and check. Every time you do something in the future, you check against the fundamental. Does it follow the fundamental or not? If it does not follow the fundamental, something wrong. Assumption is wrong, or somebody is lying to you, or whatever it is.
Okay,
Thank you.
Makasih Pak Basuki. Next questions from the lady over there. Yeah, one of the student. Keep it short.
Okay.
Langsung ke pertanyaan. Ya.
I have 3 questions. I'm journalist from SUA Magazine, business magazine in Indonesia. My questions are, as an Asian people, is it any obstacles that you face when you were starting business in America? And the second one is, you have sons that have the same background with you. Do you wish that your son will run your business in a few years, or he have his own passion in business? And the third one is, what is the most experience that you really learn in the business, in this business? Thank you.
Okay. So the first one was a loaded question. So, so to be frank, to be honest, there are some biases against Asian in the West. Still, those biases have this diminished over time as Asians are becoming more successful in the business. But that biases will always be there. Okay, it will take maybe another 10, 20 years for it to completely to disappear. Because I guess it's part of it, because if you look historically, a lot of successful companies in the West, in the US, were not started by Asian. So there was a reason to that. But as over the last 15 to 20 years, a lot of these companies are now started by Asians. People are starting to think differently about the capability of Asian people. Often in the past, when we started the company, most of the venture capitalists, most of the investors think that Asians are only good enough to be engineers. They're not good. They are not good business decision makers. They may be good engineers, and I felt bad about it. Of course, okay, I felt offended because they think we are stupid. They think engineers are stupid. And I just want to prove that they're wrong. So if you look at the companies like NVIDIA was started by by an Asian, so Jensen Huang. So it's a pretty successful company. ATI, a company that was bought by AMD, again was founded by Mr. Kao, so an Asian again. So there are a lot of successful companies, semiconductor companies, were run by Asian, both as in the starting phase engineering as well as in later stage and when they were asset management running the business. So now obviously all these companies in China are run by the Asians, so and they're all big, large. So over the next 10 years, I will see that this bias against Asians will be reduced. Now, part of it, okay, the challenge also in the West is that Asians, like especially myself, Indonesians, my English has an Indonesian accent, so it's sometimes it's hard for Americans to understand my English. So there's also, but it's happened to be. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Just have to live with it. Okay. Now, what was the second question about? Okay. Well, okay, the most important things, okay, for you as parents is do not put pressure on your son. Okay. One day you'll be parents. Do not expect too much out of your sons. You should tell them only do the best they could do. If your sons, okay, your daughters are blessed with, being smart, you need to tell them that, don't waste your life. Okay, there are only few percent of people in the world they have the opportunity to succeed because they happen to be born at a family or more wealthier family, more people that have more money. The people they happen to live in the city versus living in the desa. So tell them just focus on not wasting their life, study hard, okay, and be somebody somewhere, and somebody you can be proud of yourself 20, 30 years from now. I've seen so many of my family members, distant family members, they wasted their life. And do you think they are proud of themselves now? I don't think so. Now they regret it, but it's too late to regret at the time. So again, putting pressure is, on the other hand, is not the right thing to do either, because then they will rebel. So as to my sons, I have two sons. Okay, I told them, okay, do whatever you want to do. Okay, I don't want them to think that they need to duplicate what I have achieved. What I have achieved maybe is a miracle, Okay, and it's unfair to expect anybody, including my son or my grandsons or anybody, to fit in my shoes. Say it again. What was it? Oh, well, mainly depends how you look at it. Business experience, as I say, okay, learning from the way when I was growing up, learning, okay, helping my parents, running their business, okay, making mistakes, okay, and even, okay, losing a customer, okay, when we were very young, when we need the customer so badly. Maybe it's one of those important lessons that we had.
Okay, now I would like to invite our audience from the remote area. Can I call now our participant from Gajah Mada University in Yogyakarta? Do you have any questions to raise, please? Gajah Mada, can you hear us from here? Do you have any question to raise?
Lagi malu.
Lagi malu. Okay. Since maybe we have some communication problem, is it?
Just joking.
The audio.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, Gajah Mada, can you hear us? Oke, sebetulnya bisa dalam bahasa Indonesia, Mas, kalau mau nanya. Tadi pertanyaannya bagaimana memulai perusahaan gitu, Pak, ya?
Modelnya gimana?
Maybe I can just in case, okay, I understand the question. If not, okay, maybe it's a good information anyway. So there was a question about capital. Maybe I was thinking, say, how do I get a capital? So initially, we got the capital when we were very young through friends and family. Some other companies they have connections. They go to big venture capitalists, and if you know how to talk well, then you really go to venture capitals. And we were just engineers, so we don't know how to come up with presentation. We were like, we only have one page of presentation, so we were not qualified, I guess, to talk to the venture capitalists. So really, there are many paths, there are many ways to get money through friends, venture capitalists, people that believe in you. Okay, it's a good source. People that you know, of course, it's a good source. But sometimes getting money, too much money, will hurt you. So people make a big mistake, thinking that if they know how to talk well, they know how to present things well, and they get a lot of money, actually they may hurt you. Okay? You might even just say like, you not knowing how to run the business, not knowing how to use the money wisely, you could easily waste the money. Okay? And then you're going to regret it. So not having enough money will also kill you. So there's a balance between not having enough money and having too much money. Again, talking to people that you know of, okay, preparing the business plan is very important.
Okay. Now we have Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Hoki, on the line. Do you have any questions to raise, please? Okay, thank you. Now we move on then.
Pasti paling malu.
Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Universitas Borneo di Tarakan. Silakan Pak, kalau ada pertanyaan dari sisi sana.
Ya umpetin. Oh, lari keluar rumahnya.
Gimana Universitas Borneo? Can you hear us?
Oh, I see. Satu ITB. Yeah.
Okay. How about the Universitas Brawijaya Malang? Apakah ada pertanyaan? Silakan Pak, Bu. Okay.
How about audience here?
Okay, now I will move back to this audience inside this room. Okay, we have plenty of hands here. One from this gentleman, with the green jacket. Okay, you just come forward right away, and then afterward, okay, you at the back.
Good morning. My name is Ahmad. I'm a student from ITB in electrical engineering. I have two questions for you. One is you choose to live in USA and you choose to build a company in USA. And is there any possibility if you the difference between USA and Indonesia again? Why did you choose USA, and why didn't you raise the company here? And what is the difference? What is the difference between the rules and the government regulators and everything between USA and Indonesia? What's the difference? What makes USA can support you that much? Support your company, your patient that much? And the second. What is the future plan in the future? I mean, the vision in your company. What's next? What's your bigger movement? And is there any possibility that you will open your branch in Indonesia, your company in Indonesia? And that's all. And I do hope that you can give a speech too in my university, because. Because in ITB there are a lot of engineers.
Okay, thank you.
So I will be really pleased if you can sometimes can go to my end give a speech too. Thank you very much.
Well, terima kasih for the invitations. First question was the why in the States and well. As I mentioned earlier, I studied electronics when I was 12 years old. When I studied electronics, I was dealing with individual transistors, and not just any transistors. We're talking about germanium transistors. Transistors that were made in Japan. Transistors that were made in Philips or Siemens in Europe. Or from SGS Thomson. No, well, it wasn't called Thomson. It was called by SGS. It was a different company. So I was using discrete devices. So the industry was really at the very, very infancy. Later on, I noticed silicon transistors starting to appear. But silicon transistors are mainly coming from the West, from the US. Not just individual from Motorola, from Texas Instruments. So Motorola was like a huge driver of silicon transistors in the West, in the US, in the world actually. So I was very impressed about what's going on. Why? With the change from germanium to silicon. And then a few years later, to my surprise, it's not just silicon transistor, we're talking about monolithic integrated circuits. So integrated circuit suddenly appears, and the vast majority of the integrated circuits came from where? From Texas Instruments, from National Semiconductor, from Fairchild, okay, from a few from companies that you may have never heard about, from Raytheon, and okay, yeah, there's some they came from Panasonic, so, from Philips, but by far, the most sophisticated integrated circuits were coming from the United States. So it was clear for me that I need to go to the US to learn. While the world, I mean, the industry was changing rapidly. So the best place to learn for me had to be in the US, and I was convinced that was the case. So I went there to study, and then of course the rest of the world also improved. Japan improved, Europe improved, but I was already in the US. And then I went to school there, continued to study different, get even higher education level, get married, find my wife, okay, in Berkeley, okay, have kids. Okay, of course, it's natural for us to stay in the US. This is the dilemma of any countries that will face. If they continue to send their best people to other countries because of no opportunities over here, some of those people will not come back because they have family, they build family, because they have kids, their own friends, their own life. You cannot just go back, right? So so easily. Although it happens in China, in Taiwan, a lot of people went to US, but 20, 30 years later they come back and then build business in Taiwan because Taiwanese government create an opportunity for them to go back, okay, to build research institute, okay, funding this research. This is like 30 years ago. So it's possible, okay, but it may take time. It only happens only when the circumstances is right. So in my case, it's just chances. Why not Indonesia? Why not? Okay, it could be Indonesia. It could be if my parents don't have the money to give me to, don't have the money to send me to the U.S. I will probably be staying here. I will not meet my wife. I will not have the kid. Okay. So so that's just, I guess, chances. Now, what was the second question? Right, a branch in Indonesia. So I felt bad about this as well. Okay, so I'm Indonesian. So okay, yes, I made it in the U.S., but along the way, I also built open design centers around the world. We have design center in Singapore first, and then we have design center in Japan, and then we have another design center in Japan, and then we have design center in Taiwan, okay, in Israel, in Germany, in Milan, in Italy, in Spain, so in Netherlands. So we have basic designers in China, so in Beijing, in Shanghai. In Shanghai, we have 1,200 people. Okay, about 5 years ago was zero. So I thought about it. Okay, like, why not Indonesia? Okay, again, circumstances. I never had time to go back. So this is the first time that I've been back over the last 31 years. They really have time to think. I mean, to look more in depth. And I think it's the time is right for us to take this more seriously, to look into this opportunity. We just need to have some kind of help, okay, to guide us how to get there, okay, because 31 years outside the country udah lupa semuanya ya. So jadi tahunya jalannya gitu gimana ya, masih diajarin dikit gitu. So looking forward, please keep your hope, okay. Okay. Yeah. We'll be there. We'll be here one way or the other.
Good. Okay, another gentleman from the back.
Good morning. My name is Priandri. I study at Faculty of Economics, University of Indonesia. I have 3 questions. First, what if I have invention? What must I do for make partnership with company? And the second, I interested about strategic management. If I get your permission, may I know about your direct competitor And the third, in the industry